I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, September the 4th, brought to you in part by Zactran. Stress opens a gate to bovine respiratory disease. Slam it shut with Zactran. Remember to observe your 35-day withdrawal period after treatment. For more information, go to Zactran.com or visit with your BI representative. Labor Day is here, the official ending of the summer season, and now we're going on into the fall. If you guys can find something to do for Labor Day, more power to you. Won't be going to my normal destination for Labor Day. For the first time in 28 years, I won't be at Ruidoso Downs for the All-American Futurity. Liberal Lujan, the crazy Democratic governor of New Mexico, has shut everything down, and there's no reason to go down there and enjoy that or go to WPS for all the festivities that happen there. But on Thursday night, fresh off the Canyon Cattlemen's group meeting, just a bunch of guys that get together around Canyon, Texas there, and not a lot of trade really in Canyon, Texas anymore, but there is a lot of cattle feeders and people in the industry that live around Canyon, and they don't even have a sale barn in Canyon anymore. Last time they had a sale barn in Canyon, a viable sale barn, my uncle Cecil Newkirk owned it. He's moved out to Moses Lake, Washington, but when I was a kid I used to open the pinback gigs out there, and anyways, not a lot of trade going around Canyon, but it's close to Hereford. They got good schools, and most of those people live in Canyon. But we had a big group there. It was more than the COVID allowed, so we had to kind of split up. There was more than 10 of us there, but good meeting there, and a lot of good people that are in the cattle feeding business, and nice for us to get together once in a while. But we're still kind of struggling for a way for this market to go, either up or down. We're kind of tossed right now, so it seems we're kind of in limbo here. The futures are continuing to go down, but there's a lot of hope, mostly technically, that the futures market is at least going to go up. Fat cattle continue to lose ground. They did on Thursday. And a lot of your feeder cattle are continuing to go lower, although on Thursday we had a lot of Northern Plains sales that kind of propped the market up a little bit. But as we delve off into the fall now, we'll see which way this market starts to go. But let's look at the futures on Thursday. October live cattle futures were down 55 cents at 103.92. That's a far cry from where they were just a few weeks ago, and it's a spot market, and we're in September, but we have to look off to October. But likely we're going to be pretty close to that 103.92 on your weighted average price. December down 62 cents at 107.82. You're going out from there on your out fronts on live cattle, down 27 cents to down 82. So definitely a lower market on your fat cattle futures. September feeder cattle down $1.10 at 137.60. October down $1.25 at 138.32, and your stocks were down hard on Thursday. Corn was down too, so that didn't affect your feeder cattle, but just all your ag markets kind of down late in the week this week. You're going out from there on your feeder cattle futures, and they were down 77 cents to down $1.57. All the way out to the furthest traded month, which we've seen some support on your furthest traded months, both on live cattle and feeder cattle, but unchanged for August feeder cattle 2021. Your fat cattle trade through Wednesday, only 56,600 head, and not a whole lot of trade on Friday we're expecting, so it shouldn't be a whole lot more than that when we get to the end of the week. But you know, some of the guys were talking that the Packers were talking about, you know, actually 2 holidays this junction of the end of the week here, because they're not expecting a whole lot of kill on Saturday. So your Packers weren't very aggressive on that week, and they've been buying cattle out front, so didn't really need anything for this week, didn't really need anything for the next week, because we're going to have the Monday shutdown for Labor Day, and then a lot of sales were for far out late September, which does not bode well for us keeping this fat cattle market up. But confirmed sales on Iowa, or confirmed sales this week in Iowa, 1,200 head on Thursday at 105, which is the best we've seen all week, but that was on some really nice set of cattle that graded over 80% choice. 162 on a dress string of cattle in Iowa. Nebraska, 2,700 head. Live sales only 102 in Nebraska, and dress sales from 162 to 163. Kansas, 1,600 head confirmed on Thursday, all at 103. Remember, we were 104 earlier in the week. Texas, 1,800 head, and you remember I talked about Texas early in the week. On Tuesday they sold a lot of cattle at 104, then it went to 103. On Thursday they had some sales from 102 to 103, but mostly 102 late in the week in Texas, and not expecting a whole lot of trade at all in the Southern Plains on Friday. Box beef cutout values were lower again. Thursday afternoon, 227.24 on choice cuts, down 34 cents. Select 212.50, down $1.32. Your slaughter information this week so far, we've had a pretty good week, but like I said, they're not expecting much for Saturday, but 474,000 head slaughtered through Thursday. That's 2,000 more than a week ago, and can't really check it against a year ago because Labor Day fell on that week. But look at your actual slaughter from 2 weeks ago, and now we've got another new record for this time of the year. Average dress steer weight's 910 pounds. That's 1 pound more than last week, 18 pounds more than the 5-year average for this time, and 26 pounds heavier than the same time a year ago. Talk about your Labor Day sales. We've got a couple of specials. Most of your big high volume Monday sales are going to be closed on Labor Day, but we do have Labor Day specials that happen every year. In Torrington livestock markets, Torrington, Wyoming, expecting a big run for Labor Day Monday there, and a big sale at Russell, Iowa. Russell Livestock Market, expecting over 5,000 head. They're going to be mostly yearlings, guys. They've got a bunch of calves coming for the following Monday, but you would think they would be getting mostly fall-born calves in Russell, Iowa this time of year, but they've still got yearlings to sell. And a lot of guys have said there's a lot of cattle still outside the yards, and a lot of yearlings in Russell, Iowa. And they're going to have nearly half of those are going to be green grass yearlings. So if you guys still want some of those green grass yearlings, be sure to tune in to dvauction.com. If you can't make it to Russell, Iowa, you can view and bid that sale on Monday, and they're going to have a heck of a good sale for the special at Russell Livestock Market. Let's talk about your feeder cattle markets on Thursday. Your real-time index on DV Auction late in the day on Thursday at 138.58. I mean, 140 is gone. We fell below that here early in the week, but 138.58 on Thursday. That was down 39 cents from the end of the day on Wednesday. So continuing to fall in your brick and mortar sales across the country. Let's talk about your big sales on Thursday. Pratt, Kansas, winter livestock, 2,300 head. Feeder steers were actually steady to $1 higher. And your calves $3 to $6 higher. So pretty good sale in Pratt. Probably better than a lot of your sales that happened in the Southern Plains this week. But they had a good sale in Pratt on Thursday. Look at your top sale on there, 78 head, 709 pound steers in Pratt, Kansas. Bring $147, and they did consider those value-added cattle. Farmers and Ranchers Livestock, Salina, Kansas, 1,600 head there. Feeder steers, more like we've seen in your other big markets, $3 to $7 lower. Feeder heifers, $2 to $3 lower. And your calves kind of had a lower undertone. But top sale in Salina, very respectable. 82 head, 790 pound steers, $144.35 in Salina, Kansas. Ogallala Livestock Auction there had a hell of a sale on Thursday. 4,600 head there, and a lot of top quotes out of there. Best one I saw was 163 head of 830 pound feeder steers, bring $142.75. They also had 53 head of 405 pound lightweight calves, steer calves at $187. A lot of your Midwestern sales are having your customer appreciation days right here early in the fall, and a lot of people coming in. You can always tell when they're going to have a customer appreciation day, which usually comes with a free lunch there in the Midwest, and a lot of people coming in might spend $50 on fuel to come for a free lunch, or $5 on grain for their buggy team there, but not really. They don't feed those horses grain in that part of the country. But you know, if you got a customer appreciation day, you got a free lunch, you bring people into the market. They may or may not ever be interested in buying or selling cattle there, but still, you never know. So you got to have a draw to bring people in, and they do a lot of that in the Midwest. Lamona, Iowa had their customer appreciation day on Thursday. And I'm going to give a quote from a Feeder Flash gang member, Jim Modis, that we've talked about his cattle before. He had a load of 658-pound steers there at Lamona, bring 158 and a quarter. But the top sale that I saw anywhere on Thursday, of course, come from the Yellow Brick Road up there in the Sand Hills of Kansas, Valentine Livestock Market. Gosh almighty, all these black steers, 104 head of 1,090-pound steers, bring 135.50, 131 head of 749-pound steers in Valentine bring 163.75, and 77 head of 669-pound steer calves in Valentine bring 170.75. And that's your Feeder Flash for Friday.